Fabian, big world title fight coming up. I suppose this is something you've been dreaming of your whole life. How are you feeling now coming into only a few days out?
Calm. I feel really, really calm. But that's just me as a person. But yeah, I've been working a long time for this moment, so it feels good to finally get here. You know what I mean? A couple of days away from achieving that goal, and yeah, I feel good.
Is it a moment like you feel prepared for? Obviously, coming through as an undefeated amateur, people were talking about you before you even made your pro debut. Obviously, knowing your name through your brother as well. Is that pressure something that you've had your whole career, something that has prepared you for this big moment?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Since I've started, everyone's like, okay, his brother started. Let's see if he's any good. You know what I mean? Went from amateur career, undefeated. Obviously, pro. Suffered a couple of losses, and that's what it's like when you lose, people start doubting, you know what I mean? But I never doubted myself, and that's the reason why I'm in the situation I'm in now,
Obviously, Johnny Eblen, we've seen him being very impressive over the last while. His wrestling is obviously very good, and you know you spoke about a couple of losses there. The Vanderfort one was a lot of it obviously down to the wrestling, although a closer fight maybe than a lot of people talk about.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've improved an awful lot on the wrestling from, and obviously is that something you've thought about a lot coming into this fight?
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like I look back at that fight and I feel like if I had, because I never had my right corner team because like COVID messed everything up, and I feel like even with the right corner team, I feel like I would have beat him that night. So I feel like the skills have always been there, but I feel like I'm more mature now with my skill set. I feel like I know exactly what I need to do to beat these guys,
What do you think it is you need to do to beat Eblen?
Be Fabian Edwards, you know what I mean? Be Fabian Edwards, and that's land heavy shots on him, make him uncomfortable in there, and yeah, turn him into a panic wrestler. That's why he's, at heart, that's why he is, So you're always gonna go back to what you are, and it's about me making him realize that real quick,
Obviously, it's there for everyone to see the amount of talent you have, but sometimes you even said it yourself, you fight within yourself maybe a little bit. Is that what you're talking about, being Fabian Edwards, letting those shots go, letting the hands go, and make him pay for his mistakes?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like when you see me in the gym and you see me just flow, I'm always at my best when I'm just in there flowing and enjoying. I felt like there's been certain moments where I haven't done that, and that's how it goes. I'm still young in this sport. I've only been doing this for 8 years now. 8 years? Yeah. 8 years, so I've been here for 8 years, so it ain't long compared to some of these guys,
Last one for me, how good would it be to get home to Birmingham and you have the Bellator title and your brother have the UFC title and hold them up in your hometown?
Yeah, that's going to be fucking, that's going to be crazy. That's what we envision. When I signed for Bellator, I said, that's what I'm going to do. I came here to get a belt. I never come here just to take part and then fade away into background. I came here to get a belt, and yeah, I'm not far away from that.
Obviously, you were an undefeated fighter for a long time, and an amateur and a pro. What was the kind of feelings and the kind of mental side of it when you went in there, and even if you dispute this decision or whatever, on the record it is a loss. It's two losses in a row. Yeah. What kind of mental things you have to deal with, and how hard is it compared to when the momentum of being undefeated for a number of years? What are the changes in the kind of mentality and the training and everything around that?
Yeah, like I say, when you're undefeated for so many years, you think to yourself, I'm never going to lose. Like, you really do. Like, I can never lose, you know what I mean? But you suffer your loss, a next loss, and you kind of like, part of the sport. You kind of realize part of the sport, let's not hold on to it too much, because holding on to it is going to do more damage than good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I therefore soaked for a bit. I was driving, and every time I drive, it would flash into my head like, oh, fuck's sake, I can't believe you lost that. But I just maintained the same positive mindset. I thought, I'll get back to the gym, get back working, And
obviously you took a fight with a legend in Machida after that and got the finish.
Yeah.
Was that, obviously it's a legend of the sport, a guy who's been a champion in the UFC. Is that a different kind of feeling when you're going against somebody who you obviously would respect and maybe look up to as you were growing in the sport?
Yeah. And plus as well, I was like back against the wall type of feeling, So I didn't really care who was in there with me, if I'm being honest. It was like, by any means, I'm winning this fight, and by any means, I'm winning this fight, and yeah, and by any means, I won,
Hey, Fabian. Is it a coincidence that right now you and your brother are at the top of your promotions, basically?
Nah, I just feel like obviously years and years of hard work have just kind of led to the moment, kind of at the same time. You know what I mean? And that's about it.
Yeah. Is it like? But it's so there's nothing specific to the factor that it's happening at the same time.
Nah, not really. You know, I feel like this, like I said, this is like literally just the years of hard work, and me and my brother are very like perfectionists. You know, we're like, nah, it needs to be done right. We need to get it right. And I feel like over the years, it's just built up our skill set, and we've just, God's timing. You know what I mean? I feel like it's that time.
You think you're being overlooked by Johnny basically because he is undefeated, and what do you make of him being undefeated and that mentality he comes with?
Like I say, when you've never lost before, you think, nah, I can never lose. Like, fuck it, that would never happen to me. You know what I mean? And that would be his downfall. You know, he thinks he can never lose, and that's a good mindset to have. But when I go in there and when the shots are flying at him, you know, and he's in a fight, then he'll realize, you know, he'll realize.
Yeah, and I heard him say that you were there too, like in the studio, that you don't drop people. So what do you say to that? That when he says like you're not dropping people.
Oh, dropping people.
Yeah, I think he said that today, right?
Oh yeah. But I said to him like, I KO people though. You know what I mean? Like curly toes and that. That's what I give to people. So when I hit people, I'm giving them curly toes and stuff. So Johnny don't really curly toe people like how I do, and that's it. You know, he's a guy that's gonna go in there and box and hang off people and box and hang off people. That's what he does. You know.
That's a hell of a statement. You also there was a time when pretty recently actually that Gegard Mousasi, like that people were saying that he might be someone that could give Izzy a good run for his money, probably maybe beat him. Yeah. And then you beat him. Yeah. So do you look back at that and what did that do for you mentally as well? Yeah,
done a lot for me, and to be honest, I was more happy that I beat him over the 5 rounds than like taking him out in a round. You know what I mean? Because that kind of showed I can stay locked in for a fight for 25 minutes. You know, I've done 3 rounders before, but the extra 10 minutes, it can change, you know. So, yeah, that said a lot about my skill set.
It's like more what you needed for this style of fight.
Yeah, it's like perfect, you know. It's like you don't want to go into a title fight without, like, experienced a 5-rounder. You know, I felt like that was perfect. I had a 3-rounder with Charlie. I had a 5-rounder with this one, and I feel like that's the experience that you need for title fights.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
So there's been a lot of eyes on Team Renegade the last while now, and on Dave Lavelle, the whole team, and you're bringing attention both to some struggles that people in the kind of Midlands to north of England, but also people who have come to England from elsewhere. With all of that in mind, how has that kind of driven you in recent months towards this title, and how do you think it's going to affect the steps that you take next in your career, regardless of how this turns out? But do you think that maybe you see that there's maybe a higher purpose both for you and for Team Renegade in your community and in the MMA community as a whole? Yeah, no,
definitely. I feel like when you come from an area or you grew up how we did with like fuck all basically, you want to be able to give back. You know what I mean? You want to be able to give back to the community and to the younger kids coming up, also to your family as well. You know, so. Yeah, that's what that's what the crazy thing about MMA, because you don't realize how much you can inspire people and do for people, you know. So I'm happy I'm in that position where I feel like I can give back and help people. And when I go out there and win on Saturday, that's gonna inspire more people. And yeah, that means a lot, you know.
Because you've Leon has spoken about being from the trenches.
Yeah.
As in a Birmingham context, and I'm like, lads, you know, there's the bigger context there of being a family. Coming from Jamaican roots. Yeah. You know, like...
So we're not on about the Birmingham trenches, though.
No, but people do take it as being from Birmingham, you know, like rough area of Birmingham or whatever. But, you know, it's like from one struggle to the next struggle. And now you have an opportunity to inspire people so that it doesn't have to be a struggle for them.
Yeah, that's it. You know, like I say, Leon spoke about it. You know, Leon pretty much like kind of told our story. You know what I mean? Because his story is pretty much my story. In the same way, especially how we grew up, you know. So, going like coming from Jamaica, where it's like our house was small in this room. You know what I mean? You had to wash outside in a fucking like a bucket and water. Then coming to England and like our dad passed in after like a year of being in England, and our mum having to struggle and all of that. It's it's kind of mad when you look back at it. But I felt like all of that has built us to the men that we are today. You know what I mean? So it's inspiring for even myself looking at my own story. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hi Fabian, you were obviously with us yesterday on the radio in FM 104.
Oh, yeah.
You seem to be almost enjoying it, having a bit of fun. Is that the way you've always been on Fight Week, trying to enjoy it, take it all in, or is that something that you've learned over the years?
No, that's how I've been. You know, that's how I've been. I definitely have relaxed a bit, especially for my amateur days. I was a bit more, you know, aggressive with it with Fight Week. But yeah, I'm calm, relaxed. My team, you know, we always like to try and enjoy it because it's a short ride. You know what I mean? Before you know it, I'll be saying I'm hanging the gloves up and everything. So trying to make sure we enjoy the ride as well.
And you mentioned the amateur days there. Can you pinpoint maybe one or two things that you've seen the biggest change or the biggest improvements you've made, almost not even just as a fighter, but as a person as well, since you turned pro?
From amateur to pro, I would say, like, your skill set obviously grow, but you're just a lot more confident in yourself. You know what I mean? And when I feel like confidence is everything. You know, so when you're confident in your skill set and confident in your team and you trust in them, you kind of, I don't know, it's like kind of wipe away any doubt that you have, you know, and I feel like that's the biggest thing from amateur now. I've never switched up teams, you know, I've always been in Birmingham. I've always trained pretty much under the same people, around the same people, and that's what's brought me to where I'm at now, you know.
Hi Fabian.
Yes, brother.
Last time we spoke, it was at the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Yeah.
A lot of French people follow your story.
Yeah.
My question is simple. You were underdog in Paris.
Yeah.
Today too, for this week. Is this place such a better place for you to fight? Because it's like the story of you, of Leon. Yeah. Every fight at the big stage, you was underdog.
Yeah.
So can you explain us if you feel better in this position as favorite?
I think I'm an underdog. I am, right? I think I'm the underdog. So all I know, it feels good to fight in front of the Irish crowd. I know that. I've been in Ireland before. I fought here. I've got 2 stoppages on my record in Ireland. So, yeah, that venue's been good to me. You know, that venue's blessed me with some good wins, and I feel like Saturday, like I truly believe on Saturday, he's gonna bless me with another beautiful victory. You know, and yeah.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, so I appreciate it, boys.